go. Yeah, let me do. Okay, that's New York City. All right. United States remains in a heightened, persistent threat environment in 2026, with risk primarily stemming from lone offenders, small groups, and domestic violent extremists motivated by ideologies. While foreign inspired threats continue, many recent incidents involve U.S. residents targeting public spaces, critical infrastructure. Hey, Janie. Hey, love. How are you? Hey, what is that? Centurium? Hey. Um, while foreign inspired threats continue, many recent incidents involve U.S. residents targeting public spaces, critical infrastructure, and faith based institutions. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. Potential threats. The Homeland Security reports that threats are driven by online extremist messaging, calls for violence, and polarized political, social, or legislative issues. Post 911 attacks have largely shifted from foreign organized plots to homegrown violence. Not since this open border shit. Oh hey Lucia. Say Mila. Mila. So I just wanted to get on that. Now, New York City, since Mandani and this Iranian thing, here we go. Video shows NYPD tackling man, this was yesterday, who allegedly threw ignited device near New York City's mayor's home during protest clash. They hear the sleeper cells is being activated. Then we had that one attack in Texas the other day. Oh, that's your friend? Okay. Dramatic video captured by NYPD officers subduing a 18-year-old counter-protester accused of lighting and throwing a suspected explosive device Saturday during dueling demonstrations just steps from Gracie Mansion. Thank you, Aura, thank you. The official residence of New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Fractures begin to build when two separate protests gathered near East End Avenue and East 87th Street late Saturday morning. The NIPD and FBI, New York's Joint Terrorism Task Force, are actively investigating the incident. Now, let's watch this. Let me see if I can watch this video.
Why does fair use
Let me see if it come up.
Because it enables AI to drive innovation that accelerates scientific breakthroughs. From
Oh, thank you.
antibiotics to advanced
Thank you, love.
farming technology, and helps America keep a global edge in AI.
I wanted to get to this video and I gotta go through these damn ads.
Competitive advantage. Learn more at progressforai.com.
Here it is.
Guys, stay back. Stay back, guys. Stay back, please. Stay over here. Hey, what's your name?
I need folks 87 and more to hold that line down there.
And what? They want to protect him? What? They want to protect him? The protesters want to protect him? You can't make this shit up.
Hey, street! Out of the street! Somebody left their skateboard. Get it back. Out of the street! Out of the street! Out of the street! Come on, guys, get up! Back it up! Back it up! Guys, get off the street!
You can't make you can't make this up. So we got an update. Let's see. Two suspects were arrested on scene yesterday and remain in custody. Preliminary analysis confirms one of the devices ignited and deployed by subjects was an IED explosive. Sleeper cells are waking up. It's going to be more of this to happen around the United States. They waking up. Y'all better be careful. I'm glad I ain't in New York. Tests remain ongoing on the other devices. We will continue to update the public. All right. Now, let's go to Texas. Because what I'm about to show you, Texas had one too. He was on the lie though. Texas authorities identify Austin bar shooting victims when a gunman opened fire in the early hours on Sunday. Ryder Harrington, 19, Savathia Shane, 21, died in a shooting outside a bar popular with the University of Texas students, police said. Authority announced on Monday that the third victim, George Peterson, 30, had also died. More than a dozen people were injured in the shooting, including some who remain in critical condition. The alleged gunman, Nigeria Diego, was shot and killed by police. The FBI said it was looking into potential nexus of terrorism to the war in Iran. Hey, Aura. How are you, love? How are you? After responding to calls of an active shooter near Buford's Bar in Austin. Police say they shot and killed the suspect. Yeah, you ain't got to tell me it's gonna go up to 200. We're gonna have to fill up our cars. But it's gonna go back down. Trump gonna do something because yeah, it is. You know what, you right. I'm gonna do that. And I only put a little bit of gas in my car. Yeah, you about right. You about right. Yeah. It's gonna go up to at least $200 a beer. God damn it. Just when my pockets was feeling some relief. You think it's gonna be about 200 a barrel? That's what some analysts have been saying. Anyway, the suspect was a naturalized American citizen born in Senegal. Officials said two of the victims were students, but could not yet confirm which university they attended. We recognize that this is a very traumatic moment in our city. I cannot imagine the grief, pain, and loss these families are feeling today. The gunman walked in with a sweatshirt that said "Property of Allah." Seemed like it's gonna be a war between Islam and Christianity. Right, he was a naturalized citizen that unalived those people. He walked in with a T-shirt that said "Property of Allah." CBS was also told by an official with knowledge of investigation that officers who searched the gunman's home found an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders. The attack came on the week that U.S. led strikes on Iran. Texas Governor Abbott said federal and state officials would investigate whether the violence is connected to terrorism. Well, I'm here to say it is. Yes, Senegal is in West Africa. We will not rest until every last trail or piece of information is pursued to determine if there's anybody else involved in this whatsoever. And if so, obviously, we will track them down and bring them to justice. Yeah, he did. He did. But we can expect more of this to come. More of this is coming. I'm going to get into some videos because I ain't want this video to be that long. I'm tired. I got to get up in the morning. So let's hit it. This is the Texas attack.
At least 20 people were shot in downtown Austin this morning, and at least 3 people are dead. Take a look. It happened behind me.
Okay, so if you live in the United States right now, it is very difficult to follow the news because there's so much going on.
TS Fly. I love his channel.
The story in the United States is, of course, what's happening with Iran and the entire Middle East. However, I'm sure
they do, but not terrorist attacks. These are actually terrorist attacks. It's the difference between the mass shooting is homegrown, just nuts. This is terrorism.
You have seen this 3 dead, 14 injured in Texas bar shooting, but there is one detail a lot of people seem to be missing about this news story. This event is being investigated as an act of terror by the FBI, and they have some indicators that say this is potentially a terror attack. And contextually speaking, this is a very big deal because just 24 hours ago, the FBI put out a high alert for possible terror attacks in the United States, especially connected
Okay, you got a point there. You got a point there.
Here's my disclaimer. This has not officially been called a terror attack. However, I'm simply just trying to let you know because there are so many news stories out there right now in the United States. It's very difficult to find and look at all the details. This specific investigation has indicators, according to the FBI, of a terror attack. In fact, I'm going to let the FBI speak for themselves on this.
Gather additional evidence. Obviously, it's still way too early in the process to determine an exact motivation, but there were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism. Again, it's still too early to make a determination on that. That's why we are investigating it very closely with our partners with Austin Police Department.
And if this was any other day in the United States, this would be the main headline, one of the biggest stories out there. But again, because so much is going on, I think a lot of people are missing this part of the story. So make sure to please like this video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. And I think people would be interested in the actual details of this case.
I know that, Lord, and thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. And you were right, Ham. I agree with you, Ham. I don't hear it. I don't. That's why I don't give a fuck.
Possibly being an act of terror. Again, my disclaimer, it has not officially been put out there as an act of terror, but contextually speaking, it's a big deal if just 24 hours ago, the FBI was saying, hey, this could potentially happen, and our agents are on high alert for any of these attacks to occur in the United States. Okay, so before we listen to the press conference, here is the news story at baseline.
At least 20 people were shot in downtown Austin this morning, and at least 3 people are dead. Take a look. It happened behind me. The early morning 911 calls came in about reports of a shooting at Buford. It's a popular bar on 6th Street in downtown Austin.
Agreed, Ham. I agree with you.
Police responded quickly.
Ham Buna, yeah.
Engaged with the suspect who is now
I
dead.
agree with you.
This is the latest that we know right now. 17 people are hurt. 14 were taken to the hospital. 3 are in critical condition, and 3 people were found at the scene dead.
Okay, so as I'm filming this video and editing the video, it looks like the mainstream is starting to pick up on this story now. In fact, this is Bill Malusian. He just posted this. Breaking, per multiple federal law enforcement sources, the Austin, Texas mass shooter was a 53-year-old naturalized U.S. citizen who was born in Senegal and was living in Luggerville, Texas. And material recovered from his person and vehicle give possible indications of a nexus to terrorism, as the FBI announced earlier today. And if you are unaware, again, Bill Malusian is a Fox News correspondent. And now that Bill Malusian has posted that, all of my updates are literally, hey, this is who the person is, and this might be a terror attack. It goes to show you how fast the news cycle can be or not be, depending on who's reporting on it and whether or not there's going to get some media hype behind it. But now it looks like more and more people are starting to figure out, hey, this is possibly a way bigger deal than it already is.
The mayor spoke earlier. He said his hearts go out to the families and say that police, their quick actions saved lives. There was a news conference not too long ago. This is what officials had to say.
I'm very thankful for the speed with which our public safety officials responded to this. I don't think there's any question that it saved lives.
This was a very active scene. As many of you know, we have paramedics that are embedded in the entertainment district and with the Austin Police Department on the weekends. We received the call at 1:59 a.m. and within 57 seconds, the first paramedics and officers were on scene actively treating the patients.
Look at Texas. Look at Texas.
57 seconds, and they were already on the ground trying to save lives. Amazing work. God bless all of you guys, and prayers for the families. Like, legitimately, this is super sad and kind of difficult to report. Again,
Me too, Aurora. Me
give you
too.
guys all the most relevant news. This morning, I did a live stream already about 3 U.S. soldiers who have lost their lives in the Middle East due to attacks.
The work that has been done by our first responders and by our police. There is no question in my mind that the quick response of the police officers and of our EMS personnel and those professionals made a difference and saved lives.
Yep.
That is an important thing for us to keep in mind as we go through this and we go both the trauma of this and the investigation. And that is the very professional, extremely competent and quick response of our police and our EMS personnel saving lives under these circumstances.
Yep.
The other thing I will point out is that this is, and you'll hear this from professional law enforcement here in just a moment, this is an ongoing investigation. We are going to work to make sure that the public has information as thorough and as rapidly as is professionally appropriate. as we continue with this investigation. But I'm going to let the professionals tell you more about that. I just want to make sure everybody understands we're doing this well and we're doing it right.
Countless lives with their quick reaction and quick training to respond to the shooter and address the threat. The FBI is working in lockstep with our partners, with Austin Police Department. We have members from our evidence response team, as well as our many other specialty teams, including our digital forensics folks that are on scene, helping to address the scene and gather additional evidence. Obviously, it's still way too early in the process to determine an exact motivation, but there were indicators.
That's what I want him to get to.
On the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism. Again, it's still too early to make a determination on that.
But it was a terror attack. So we're going to delete that video. We're going to get to the Texas shooter has been identified as Najati Dion, 53 years old.
Austin, Texas, with some brand new information. I had mentioned before, 3 people killed. Fox confirmed the shooter who police killed was a naturalized citizen from Senegal. Sources are now telling Fox the shooter was wearing clothing that said Allah on it, and he had on an undershirt with an Iranian flag on it. The FBI has just announced they are investigating this as a possible act of terrorism. They said maybe, probably, could be.
It is. It was. Because there's more to come. These are the shots.
Oh my God! What is going on? What the fuck is going on? Jesus fucking Christ! What the fuck? Oh my God! Jesus! Fuck! Fuck! Oh God! Oh!
That's terror. That's terror. I might keep that video. Now, this was a stabbing that took place in Washington, D.C.
Do you understand why ICE is important? Do you understand that your life is in jeopardy every day from this point? Do you understand that this is not about mass hysteria? Do you understand that there are sleeper cells in the country waiting to be giving a signal to do things like this? Y'all don't get it. And you're not going to get it until it's at your front door.
Facts.
And remember, you let all of these people in.
Come on.
Unvetted, unchecked, and then you're trying to fight ICE to remove them.
Facts.
See? And this is all your fault. Because you want to protest nonsense. Okay? Now, understand, this is going to be the new normal.
Facts.
Understand that.
Facts.
Get it through your head. Mass stabbing just to...
That was a mass stabbing in D.C. the other day. Coming to a city near you.
Las Vegas just had a suspected terrorist attack.
Las Vegas.
Drove from New York all the way to Las Vegas, drove straight through the gates at the power plant and was trying to hit the power plant. When they intercepted him, he said that he's the son of a dead terrorist and he felt that he had to take it upon himself to carry on the mission. This is the video right now.
A 23-year-old deliberately drives through a secure gate at a power facility in Las Vegas. And tonight, authorities are describing it as possible terrorism.
The suspect referred to himself as a dead terrorist's son and stated he felt he had an obligation to carry out his act.
The suspect, who we're not naming or showing, drove here from New York. These wire reels stopped him after breaking through perimeter fencing of the facility on Thursday.
Damn.
The sheriff believes he then shot and killed himself. In his rental car and hotel, authorities say they found these weapons. A number of explosive materials, pipes, gas, and these flamethrowers, and multiple books with extremist ideologies.
Additionally, we discovered the suspect was wearing soft body armor at the time of this incident.
Authorities are unclear if the driver's goal was to knock out the substation. Investigators are still searching for a motive. Camila Bernal, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Las Vegas just had a suspected terrorist attack. Some motherfucker drove.
Hey, Beatrice. Yeah, well, I'm glad you do, but same way over here. But if somebody dropped the B word, I don't know how quickly that's going to help when that happened, because those devices that happened in New York were bombs. Oh, here we go. I'm just warning you.
Share this clip with your friends.
Al Qaeda is basically predicting that the casualty count will be between 50 and 60,000 Americans dead. Am I wrong on that?
So I don't know the count that they're predicting. What I do know is Al Qaeda trained and sent 1,000 attackers.
1,000 attackers. When did they come through?
So they finished training and they deployed them. Now, depending on how they come through, it could take different times, right? So the fastest I've seen an Afghan leave Afghanistan and get over the border illegally is about 3 weeks. Now, if you get a tourist visa and a Saudi's passport, he can fly the day after he gets his visa, right? So it depends, because they are fine getting people in however they can get them in, and they actually prefer legal immigration, as you can imagine, because they want basically the attackers to sit here and wait. If they're legal, they're not going to raise any alarm bells.
So wait a minute. I just want to clarify. You are 100% certain.
If you love America, share this clip with your friends.
Many of them was just walked across the damn border, unvetted. Thank you, open borders, that bitch and Biden. This LA now. This all over coming to a town near you.
And test the bombs. They had everything they needed to make an operational bomb at that location, and they were subsequently arrested by the FBI before they could build a functional explosive device. Shortly after the defendants were taken into custody, the FBI executed multiple search warrants, including at the defendants' Southern California residence and other locations throughout the country. I'll highlight some of the items found during those searches over the weekend. For example, in Carroll's residence, law enforcement found multiple posters and materials associated with Turtle Island Liberation Front, including posters stating, quote, "Death to America, long live Turtle Island and Palestine," and quote, "Death to ICE, Turtle Island Liberation Front." In Page's residence, law enforcement found a copy of the detailed bomb attack plan. This case is another reminder about the dangers that radicalized Antifa-like groups pose to public safety and the rule of law. Through the tireless work of our prosecutors...
I know that's old news. I have it mixed in. Thank you very much. The subject is terrorist attacks. But the 3 before it was not old, idiot. And the one I'm doing last is over the weekend in New York City. God damn.
In my office and our law enforcement partners, which you will hear from today, we disrupted this terror plot before buildings were demolished or innocent people were killed. But this is not the end of our work. My office is committed to extinguishing the far-left terror threats that we face, and will continue to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The 4 defendants arrested will make their initial appearance this afternoon at the federal court in downtown Los Angeles. They are each considered innocent until proven guilty. I will now turn it over to the Assistant Director in Charge of the FBI LA office, Akil Davis.
Like I said, coming to a city near you. Now we doing Bondi Beach, and I know it's old, but I'm showing. God, this pissed me off. This Bondi Beach, this old too.
Breaking news just moments ago, the Australian health minister reports the death toll has risen in the Sydney terror attack. At least 16 are dead. That includes a child. One suspect is in custody, another was killed, and police removed several improvised explosive devices from a nearby vehicle they say is linked to one of the shooters. In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had harsh words for Australian leaders.
About 4 months ago, I sent Prime Minister Albanese of Australia a letter in which I gave him warning that the Australian government's policy was promoting and encouraging anti-Semitism in Australia. You did nothing to curb the cancer cells that were growing inside your country. You took no action. You let the disease spread, and the result is the horrific attacks on Jews we saw today.
Let's bring in MS Now National Security and Intelligence Analyst Mark Polymeropoulos. He was
So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to delete this. Now, this just happened on a fucking airplane last week, since you keep telling me that it's old. This happened last week. Same here in Canada. Right, it's coming to a city near you. Open borders, unvetted people. This just happened.
My God. You got sit down. Don't move. Has he got anything on it? Careful, just be careful, be careful. Sit down. Okay. Alright? Mate, has he got a phone on him? I don't know. Is that his phone? It's not mine. Is that anyone's phone? That's my phone, my phone. Where's he sitting? Is that your phone? Yeah, my phone. Have you got anything on you?
Exactly, Alex, exactly.
Why are you doing that? Check his pockets. How long have you been doing
Shortly, all passengers to return to their seats, fasten your seatbelts, put the window blinds open, armrest down,
Where's his bag?
and tray tables.
Where are you sitting? Where's your seat? Is there anything in your bag? Is there anything in your bag? Is there anything on your bag? Is there anything in your bag? Is there anything in your bag? No. Have you got? Wait! No, nothing. Have you got? Yeah. Have you got a book? No. Why are you? Have you got anything on you? Find the bomb, the plane. Death to America, death to Trump. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Coming to a city near you. Now, this is New York City. Oh, no. This is a New Year's Eve explosion. No, this was in New York. 40 people dead. People dead. No, it's at a luxury Swiss ski resort. My bad. They here. This was today. They had to evacuate the Kansas City airport today. Since I gotta tell you when the shit happened. This today. They evacuate the Kansas City airport. That was today. This because of Iran. Okay, this is New York City over the weekend. Because I'm trying to warn the people coming to a city near you. That's why. Somebody got to tell you. Since y'all out there protesting ICE and all that dumb shit. Thank you, Mason.
Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi are reportedly in federal custody and now being interviewed by the FBI in connection to the devices. A source tells us both are U.S. citizens, and right now we're monitoring more police activity in an area of New York City's Upper East Side near where the devices were initially thrown yesterday afternoon. Cameras captured 6 total people taken into custody yesterday, including one of them who said, "Allah Akbar." The confirmed IED thrown yesterday outside Gracie Mansion happened during a clash of protest. The initial protest was called, quote, "Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City, Stop New York City Public Muslim Prayer," end quote, and was Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi.
But see, I support ICE, Mason. I do. But we all have a right. But this happened within 24 hours in New York. And they had explosives. So I don't know how a gun gonna go off when they got something that's gonna blow you up. I don't know how that's gonna work. Linda, I agree. I totally agree with you. Yes, he is. They found a third explosive. This within 24 hours.
Avenue between 81st Street and 82nd Street. We have been told that officers have located a third suspicious device in a car that is thought to belong to one of 2 suspects who were taken into custody yesterday in connection with 2 other suspicious devices. So now we've got a total of 3 suspicious devices that have been uncovered here in the Big Apple. And we know at this point from high-level sources and from the NYPD that at least one of the devices that has been confiscated is a confirmed IED. Fox has been talking to high-level sources all throughout the day, and we actually learned today that one of the IEDs that was taken into custody yesterday had an explosive called triacetone triperoxide, or known as TATP.
Right,
Fox
Mason.
News contributor Paul Morrow talked about this earlier today, and he said this is an explosive that has been used in other high-profile, deadly
terrorist attacks.
Avenue.
Coming to a city near you. That's all I'm saying, because it is. They saying Mandani is refusing to condemn this attack. But they put him in there. I'm going to delete this video because the other 2, I'm going to delete that one. Okay, I'm going to do one. Oh, well, I got 2 more and then I'm going to bed. This is old. This was on New Year's Eve in California. I think that goes with that other one.
Now reports that it's disrupted a planned New Year's Eve terror attack in Los Angeles. 4 suspects in custody. The FBI identifying them as members of a pro-Palestine extremist group. They're suspected of planning coordinated IED attacks targeting 5 different locations in Los Angeles. But based on the reporting now, that plot has been foiled. We will wait for more out of LA or out of Washington, D.C.
Right around Christmas Eve, they were looking to plan an attack, and that plan has been foiled. We are living in some fucking dangerous times. Where is this shit coming from?
Open fucking borders. Letting people walk the fuck across the border unvetted.
Mass shootings. In Australia, New York City, we just had Rob Rainier and his wife died to their son, practically. The Pulp Fiction actor, face first, dead in his house in a puddle of blood. You gotta ask yourself, what the hell is going on? You gotta ask yourself, what the hell is happening?
We at the end of times. That's what's going on. Okay, this is the last one about New York yesterday.
Tonight, the FBI is investigating 2 men after an explosive device with bolts and screws was thrown into a crowd. It happened in New York City on Saturday during a protest that turned violent outside the mayor's official residence. CBS's Chanel Call is there with the very latest tonight. Chanel.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Love y'all.
Was inside Gracie Mansion when a small anti-Islam protest took place here yesterday afternoon. A larger counter-protest then showed up, and police say 2 men who were part of that group brought those homemade devices.
Stay in New York.
This is the moment a homemade bomb was ignited outside the New York City mayor's residence Saturday afternoon.
He threw a bomb? Did he throw a bomb, bro?
NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch says the device did not explode, but that it could have caused serious injury or death.
Based on preliminary examination and X-ray imaging, the devices, which were a bit smaller than a football, appear to be a jar wrapped in black tape, importantly, with nuts, bolts, and screws, along with a hobby fuse that could be lit.
The man seen throwing it, 18-year-old Amir Balat and his 19-year-old friend Ibrahim Kayumi, both from Pennsylvania, were arrested. Authorities say they were part of a group of nearly 125 people counter-protesting a much smaller anti-Islam demonstration led by Jake Lang.
The violent
Calm down. A pardoned U.S. Capitol insurrectionist who has frequently sought out political confrontations in the months after President Trump gave him clemency. In a statement, Mayor Zohran Mamdani is saying, quote, yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Adding, quote, what followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. And police also say they found a 3rd device in a vehicle just down the street from here. The FBI now investigating this as terrorism. And Jarika sources telling CBS News authorities are also now working to determine if either of those 2 men were inspired by ISIS. Jarika?
Chanel Call, thank you.
Coming to a city near you. Stay aware, stay vigilant, keep your head on a swivel. Right, Donnell. Right, hey, Donnell, I think we called you earlier. Right. But stay aware, stay awoke, stay prayed up, keep your head on a swivel, because this coming to coming to a city near you. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Good night. Hey, Larry, how you doing? All right. Rewatch the video.